I think that the best thing about LegalMatch is that the clients have already put their contact information in. So they're actually real leads. So other services, the problem is that you might get a message on the messaging platform, but then you don't really have a way to contact them except for the message board, which means that you have to hope that the emails aren't going to their spam or something like that, or that they're actually going to check it. So you have basically a direct line of contact to the clients pretty much as soon as they post, and you can just get right into the weeds if you happen to catch them on the phone, which is just has a much higher success rate than, let's say, messaging on a message board and saying, hey, I'd be happy to do some work for you, and don't hear back for 3 weeks. So I feel like the ability to contact the clients is the big draw for LegalMatch, for me anyway. Most people don't necessarily want to come into an office for tax work, right? They'd ideally like to be able to handle everything over the phone or from home. So that's been fantastic for me because people really don't want to stay on the phone with the IRS all day. They really don't want to have to end up going anywhere. So having a steady source of leads without being able to afford expensive office space has been fantastic for my business. I saw some of the advertisements around because I was looking to try and grow my business, right? Because I'm a solo lawyer. And I thought, oh, well, I just might look and see what might work. And after I talked to one or two of the representatives at LegalMatch, we went through, looked at some of the leads to make sure that they were actually legitimate. And they gave me the rundown on here's the contact information, here's how you can rate the cases, here's how you can value the cases. And that was just really impressive to me. I think that the best feature is almost definitely the logging for rating and valuing cases and just the follow-up tab. So you can mark, hey, how likely do you think this client is to respond? You can take notes. You can say, here's how much value I think I can get out of this case, so you can appropriately follow up with clients. A few times a week. So usually a lead that I respond to, it's at least 3 or 4 a week. And it's just an ongoing thing. So usually might take a couple of pokes to respond, like with anything, but I do get at least 4 leads a week. I'm going to say about 15% turn into actual clients, but that may change with tax season, just because November, December is a little slow for tax work. And then January through, let's say, June is really busy for tax work. I think that value of the clients that you get on LegalMatch are higher than the other lead services that I use. So other ones, they might say, hey, we'll do some targeted advertising for you, right? And then you might get leads that are mostly bots. And then others might say you're basically pay to play and hope for the best, but you have to worry about getting people's contact information. So I feel like the quality of the leads for LegalMatch is super high. And that also and it's also good because you can actually contact them. So I think that on its own kind of sets LegalMatch apart. So I think that I got the most out of it by just, as soon as I see something pop up, I check it out, I value it, and then I immediately respond. And that has already turned into at least getting responses from clients. I think the biggest thing I recommend is just being kind of sober about how many clients are going to come in. So with anything, right, trying to track down any client is kind of hard, especially when you're trying to say, hey, let me do work for you for money, right? It's just realizing that you have a direct line to a client. So making sure you're contacting them kind of regularly and you're not being too pushy, but you're also saying you're demonstrating value and telling them, hey, here's why I'm contacting you, but not being overbearing about it is probably the most important thing, because you don't want to scare people off, but you also want people to feel like they can approach you to or respond to your calls. So I think that just not being impatient is probably the biggest thing, because that's the name of the game, regardless of how you can get in touch with your clients, right?